Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you by St. Luke's On Demand Virtual Care, which allows patients to see a provider from their home using a computer or smartphone with on demand care for common ailments such as a cough, sore throat, or a sinus issue. More information at stlukesonline.org. Idaho is a big state and it covers a lot of territory. Idaho Matters wants to take you to every corner of the Gem State by visiting all 44 counties. And we need your help to do that. Email us your story ideas at idahomatters@boisestate.edu for our new series we're calling Idaho 44. And be sure to join us each weekday at noon and 8 on Idaho Matters and travel the state with us. More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. Athletic Club Boise is gearing up to make its debut as Boise's first professional soccer club. With a brand new stadium underway at Expo Idaho and a recent logo unveiling, the club is preparing to kick off in 2026 and 2027. So to tell us more about what's in store is Athletic Club Boise's co-founder, Bill Taylor. Bill, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Gemma. I appreciate the invite.
So, Bill, let's start at the very beginning. What inspired bringing this pro soccer league to Boise?
I think it's the demand, actually. Other than the fact that I'm a diehard soccer fan and played it my whole life. Ever since I moved to Boise, I've been pretty insistent that we needed to try and find a way to bring professional soccer to Boise, and have been long in that endeavor and trying to make that happen. So I think we've proven it out a couple times with a couple pro games that we were able to bring here, and we had great success at Boise State in 2015 during High Aldi. Really kind of woke everyone up to the opportunity to have pro soccer here as the community supported that. And a couple years later in 2017, we had a game from the Portland Timbers second division team came into town with Kansas City, and we packed Rocky Mountain High School Stadium with over 5,000 people there. So that kind of really then set the bar as to it's time to move forward. So yeah, we've had it's been a long road, but I think the community's really kind of asked for this for a long time.
So when you mentioned those other soccer matches that you brought to town, is that kind of what solidified thinking it is the right time to introduce the league here?
Yeah, I think it really was the trial, right? We didn't really even know what the desire was and what kind of support you would get from the community, because that's what it's all about. And when we ran the test at Boise State, that was a pretty special game, because you're talking about bringing in a Athletic Bilbao from Spain, and that year they were in the Champions League. It was a big European club coming to Boise, so you were going to draw a lot of people kind of almost regardless, just because it's such a unique event. So after that event, even with that, we had well over 20,000 plus people in the stadium, and we sold 15,000 seats in like one day. So the line was around the block the day we opened ticket sales. So that kind of was the first like wake up, like, oh wow, we actually have more support than I actually anticipated. And then we wanted to trial something that would be more realistic to our market, and that was kind of really, I think that was the one that really woke everyone up, is the one where we have the Portland Timbers 2 and Kansas City come in to Rocky Mountain, because that was the overwhelming support on that. But those were, I would consider those like really true soccer fans that came to that game. They weren't just like casual observers. And that really kind of woke everyone up, I think, at that point.
Okay, so how did the name Athletic Club Boise come to be?
Well, we engaged the community on these kinds of things, right? Brad Stith, our CEO, did a good job with having several, community engagement sessions. Hired a company that came in to help facilitate all of this work, and over the process of time, with our the crest is really, as well as the name, is very unique. And really represents what we are here. And athletic club, there's no other athletic club in in the United States as well. They have an athletic club, obviously, in Bilbao, and you have a couple
Hmm.
around Europe. But we were kind of the first here in the United States. So there are a couple of reasons why I think we landed on that name. Um, and our Basque heritage will, it really kind of accentuates that as well.
Hmm. So, for listeners who are not familiar with professional soccer leagues, can you explain what the USL League One is?
Yeah, it's if to the casual observer of that non-soccer fan probably still is exposed enough to understand that it's the largest sport in the world, and every other country around the world has kind of a single tiered system where you have, like, we'll use England for as probably the most popular and probably the most well known. And if anyone's watched, Welcome to Wrexham, which is pretty popular, a show over the
Hmm.
last few years, you kind of been educated to how this system works, where you have multiple tiers. So you have like Premier Division, which is the top one. Then underneath that is Championship. Then under that is League One, Two, Three. And in the United States, we have it a little bit differently because in the United States, you have, the MLS, which kind of started in the 90s and has grown and really expanded quite rapidly, and has 30 teams now, and they're what we call tier one. So that's under US soccer, our federation. There's different tiers, and you have to meet
Hmm.
certain league standards in order to be in one tier or the other. So the MLS is tier one currently on the men's side. On the women's side, you have two actually leagues. You have the NWSL and the USL Super League that are on the women's tier one level. And then going back to the men's side, underneath that tier one, you have tier two, which is the USL Championship, and then a League One. So three tiers on the men's side. The difference is on the USL, United Soccer League, is kind of a league that has grown up more like leagues in Europe and in South America and everywhere else around the world, basically. As opposed to the MLS, which kind of came in big markets, huge stadiums, billion-dollar investments, like more like the NFL and other major sports in the
Hmm.
United States. They just kind of started at the top. The USL kind of came in and had a different model. They said, we want to grow the game organically through communities, smaller towns, like give people the opportunity to really engage with their community and grow this through the community effort, right, from the bottom up. So the USL has, 18 or so teams in the championship level. And then you have another, by next year, you'll have another close 19, potentially 20 teams in USL 1, which is the third division in our country. So, um, and in 2028, the USL is going to be introducing a Premier Division, which is will give the USL three tiers: Premier, Championship, and League One, which, like I was just talking about a second ago, in Europe mimics that same model. So that's kind of what the USL represents in the US. So you have actually two different, different separate leagues in our country. You have the MLS, which is a different entity, and then you have the USL, which is this models more of what the rest of the world looks like as far as the tiered system. And we'll have promotion relegation shortly.
So, when should folks be looking to be able to purchase tickets and see the team start playing?
Yeah, the team is going to be kicking off in March. Tickets actually have been, we've broken all the records in the USL, and in the history of the USL. We're already at 6,000, we're over 6,000 season ticket
Oh,
deposits already
wow.
placed. We only have
Oh my goodness.
6,500 to give out. So if you don't have one, Gemma, you need to jump on with us right now.
I guess so. My goodness. Okay, so how can people get on
So
this
you go to
list if they're interested?
acboise.com,
Okay.
acboise.com, and then you can scroll down. You can sign up to get your tickets. They're like $25 for your deposit to get your ticket deposit. And we're already, I mean, we're so close. I don't know that I haven't checked with Brad in the last 2 days to see whether we've already gone to a waiting list, but we're right on the verge of going to a waiting list at this point. And, we're not kicking a ball till March. So
Oh,
we'll have a select a seat. So once you put your deposit in, it goes by order, right? So, you'll have a timestamp when you put your ticket deposit in. And then when we do our select a seat, which should be sometime in September, we anticipate, you'll actually
mhm.
go to the stadium and based on your time, you'll have a time slot that you're invited down to the stadium and you'll actually physically go pick out your seats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Well,
going to be really fun.
I would say best of luck to you, but I don't think you need it. So, but best of luck to you anyway. So, and thanks for taking time to talk
Thank
with
you.
us today. I appreciate it. Yeah. We've been
Yeah.
speaking with Bill Taylor. He is co-founder of Boise's first professional soccer league, talking about Athletic Club Boise and its anticipated addition to the city's sports scene. You've been listening to Idaho Matters from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Gemma Gaudette.